Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So let's talk about the P. Diddy arrest, shall we? And we're going to go to my favorite website to where, like I've said many a times, when I want all the facts, all the details, I go to the dailymail.com. And this reads Diddy arrest live. This is like I guess a moment by moment. Uh, Everything that happened moment by moment since the time he got arrested up until, I guess, right now. It says Diddy arrest live. Sean Combs is denied bail despite offer of $50 million and denial of baby oil freak off charges. Dang, 50 million. The man offered $50 million to get out. So anyway, y'all know he got arrested, hit with a few charges, by the feds in New York. Although most of the things, not most of the things, but some of the things they talked about looks like they happened in maybe Miami and in California, but somehow New York prosecutors got a hold of it. But let's just look at a timeline real quick. Let's get into it and see what we can uncover right now. So at 6:44 this morning, Cassie's lawyer declines to comment. I'm reading for dailymail.com. It says in November, Diddy's former girlfriend, R&B singer Cassie, filed a lawsuit saying he had beaten and sexually assaulted her for years. The suit was settled in one day, but months later, CNN aired hotel security footage showing Combs punching and kicking Cassie and throwing her on the floor in Los Angeles. Remember that, because that's part of this case. Cassie's lawyer, Douglas Whitgore, said in response to the numerous inquiries we have received regarding the indictment of Sean Combs, neither Ms. Ventura nor I have comment. I would love to be a lawyer. You get paid to say something that simple and probably got paid hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just to get up there and to write that very new, never been used before, not on a template statement, and got paid for it. 6:44, look back at claims against Diddy. A woman said Combs sexually, violated her 2 decades ago when she was 17. A music producer sued, saying Combs forced him to have sex with prostitutes. Another woman, April Lampro, said Combs subjected her to terrifying sexual encounters, starting when she was a college student in 1994. Dang, former Danny Kane member Dawn Richard said he groped her and threatened her when she worked for him from 2005 to 2012. Here's an issue that we all knew was going to happen when the Cassie lawsuit hit. Everybody knew that when sharks smell blood in the water, they attack. And so you probably had many people, men and women, who were, probably victims or probably had to deal with the things that P. Diddy were doing over time and were just afraid to come out. But Cassie came out, guns a-blazing, not backing down, put out a lawsuit, and pretty much won when she was awarded, $30 million? Now, everybody is coming out the woodwork, and it's nothing new. I mean, you look at R. Kelly, you look at Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, and probably more and more people. A lot of folks will come out. Whether it's true or false, we don't know. All we know is, where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire, they say. But all we know is right now he has, at this point, allegations. It said he was seen relaxing in Central Park before the arrest. But I think they said that he was supposed to turn himself in today, but for some reason, which they did not reveal, they went and got him yesterday. It says previous legal troubles in 2001, Diddy was acquitted of charges related to a Manhattan nightclub shooting 2 years earlier that injured 3 people. Then his then protege, Sean, was convicted of assault and other charges and served about 8 years in prison. There's a woman who got a video out. I forgot I think she was on Art of Dialogue, where she said that she saw Diddy shoot her in the face. Not Sean, not nobody else, but Diddy point the gun and hit her in the face, and she lived. He says his arrest sparks wild reaction on social media. He's gonna love prison. I don't want to care about that. It say Diddy seen posing with fans before the arrest. Diddy spent Monday morning relaxing on the turf in New York Central Park before meeting up with his son Christian to wander the streets of Manhattan. Adoring fans ran up to snap selfies and shake the hand of their idol, who flashed a pride smile from behind a pair of thick superstar glasses as he reveled in the attention. Let's go back to this idol. Now the scriptures say we shouldn't have false idols, and athletes and entertainers for some reason are idols that a lot of people worship. And I can never really understand that. I mean, I can see you looking up to people or want to emulate people. That's one thing, because, you know, you can want to emulate your father or your mother, people in your family, friends of yours, people in business that's older than you, your uncles, cousins. I can understand you wanted to emulate or be like them, but there's a difference between that and worshiping. And when you use the word idol, man, that's a dangerous word, because the scriptures say you shouldn't have false idols, which means idols are things that you worship, that you bow to, that you shoot or to kill and die for. I guess that would be another way of saying it. Not like on the terms of family and stuff like that, but you worship them so much, they can't do any wrong. And there's a lot of people, you remember like the R. Kelly trial, there was a lot of women, no matter what that dude did, that's a good example. No matter what he did, even if it's on film, people still would not stop worshiping him. His music, they still do anything for him. They got women who say they would still mess with him, this and the third. And this dude violated a child, or who knows, multiple children, maybe. We don't know. I wasn't in the court. But he did this and people still worshiped him, treated him like an idol. Says Diddy was caught off guard. NBC reports that Combs was surprised when he was arrested on Monday at the Manhattan hotel where he had been staying. Combs' attorney claims the rapper had relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Now, you know, like the lawyers be in contact with the feds or with the prosecutors or whoever, police, and they let them know, hey, we are going to arrest this. We're going to arrest him, you know, on we're going to file charges on him on this certain day, by this certain day. So you either turn yourself in or we'll come get him. And then the lawyer will talk to, you know, his client, and they'll come up with a deal, say, okay, he'll come in on Tuesday. I mean, I said a story before where I knew a guy who said he had, you know, killed a guy for whatever reason, and he fled. Well, he didn't flee. He just went to like Las Vegas, gambling, this, that, and the third. And the lawyer called on it and told him, hey, if you come in now, I can get you 7 years. Turn yourself in. So yeah, the lawyers are always talking to, you know, other prosecutors and things in that case. Rapper's homes was raided in March. Yeah, they said, you remember like on one property, he had like 2 mansions, but they only raided 1 house. That was interesting. We remember in May, he did his apology video. CNN aired the hotel security video that showed Combs punching, kicking, and dragging his then girlfriend, the R&B singer Cassie. The incident closely matched the description in a lawsuit that Cassie, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura. A few days after the video airing, Combs posted an apology on social media saying he was truly sorry and that his actions were inexcusable. And when you look at that video, like the man got cold eyes, like in the way he's talking there, it doesn't seem like people are always sorry that they got caught, not really sorry for what they did, because that's who they are. That's who they are. They intentionally did things. You can call it whatever, mental illness, gone crazy, whatever, but intentionally, I'm going to try to take this woman out. And so now that he got caught and he knew the repercussion that was coming, he tried to apologize, but it's too late. Combs' lawyer said he's not a criminal. The rapper attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said in a statement, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe was an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the Black community. He is an imperfect person, but is not a criminal. To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative. With this investigation, he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court. It said 806 Diddy's lawyer believes he's being charged with sex trafficking and racketeering. He said the lawyer said he told the New York Times he believed Combs is being charged with racketeering and sex trafficking. Diddy will plead not guilty. Diddy seen with his lawyer and son in Central Park before the arrest. So maybe his lawyer knew he was coming. They told him, hey, we finna go get him right now. And they were like, oh, hell. So maybe he didn't know maybe thought he was going to do it today, but then something happened. They said, no, we coming to get him today. Where's he at? If he's with his lawyer. What's this say? Diddy was ordered to pay $100 million in Michigan lawsuit. Now, this is interesting. A Michigan judge this month ordered Combs to pay $100 million to Derek Lee Smith, who said Combs drugged and sexually assaulted him at a party almost 30 years ago, after Combs failed to show up to defend himself in court. Same type of thing happened to Suge Knight. Not this kind of assault, but with him losing Death Row Records. And they said it was a default judgment because he didn't show up in court, whether he knew it, didn't think it would go nowhere, didn't take it serious or whatever. He didn't show up. And so they gave whoever the people are, Death Row Records. He had to come up off of it. He lost his business. So I don't know if these guys don't take it seriously, but $100 million, I don't care how much money you have, I would take that very seriously because you got to fight these cases. Now, he didn't go, but again, remember he did agree to pay Cassie for $30 million. So who knows? And who knows what's going on in his man's mind? Because heck, he already knew they finna come get him. So he probably said, man, forget that dude. I got other things to do. I don't have time to go to that courtroom. Just like, remember Deion Sanders' son, was it Shador, got hit with a lawsuit out here in the Dallas area, and he filed bankruptcy because the defendant won so much money. But Shador said he didn't even know the trial was coming up. He didn't know when the trial was. And so it was a default judgment. So you just got to, just stay on top of your game and stuff like that. It says rapper sued by Danity Kane's Dawn Richards this month. Richard claimed that she was manipulated by Combs on promises that he would help her music career. Now, Danity Kane, never mind. It said indictment reveals details of claims against Diddy. Diddy has been charged with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The indictment includes alleged crimes by Diddy dating back to 2009, so there's no statutory limitations on that one, huh? Diddy's entourage is accused. Diddy's entourage, that means not just him, so he's the only one that's been arrested now, which means there's going to be more people get arrested here soon. Diddy's entourage is accused of sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion, and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics offense, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Let me tell y'all youngsters something, especially this new hip hop generation who has very little to no sense or understanding about real life and the law. You see these guys rap about flying these females out, and we know what for. I've discussed this in previous videos, but let me just give you a refresher. You see these females who talk about being flown out with these rappers. Now, common sense is going to tell you that if you get flued out, or if you fly somebody out, there is 9 times out of 9 the belief that a sexual act, maybe multiple, will occur during the time of your meeting. They fly you out, buy you some things. Pretty Woman, if you indeed. I mean, if you will, the movie. Fly you out, buy you things, take you here, there, whatever. But, when a man wants some, he expects some. That is what we call a form of prostitution, or what the government will call a form of prostitution, because you're paying for a sex act no matter what. If he gives you cash and y'all have sex or whatever, that's just prostitution. I don't care how you try to sugarcoat it, make it seem like a made for Hollywood movie. That's all it is. It's just but these youngsters don't see it like that. They get out there and they want to rap about it, they want to brag about it. But fellas and females, even if you flying a dude out or a female yourself out, understand that years from now, it could be weeks or months from now, when that female that you done flown out is on hard times, and let's say you as a rapper or entertainer that came up, got you a nice deal, making a lot of money, flaunting money, splurging money, got a few baby mamas, and everybody's happy. That one woman that you kicked to the wayside. Remember Chris Brown, I think it was a year or two ago, this woman tried to come out and was going to sue him and charge him with like sexual assault, this and the third. But the brother had receipts. He had text messages, phone call, recorded calls, this and the third. And all that got squashed. All that got wiped away. Nobody made a big deal about it. Nobody really came to Chris Brown's defense. Nobody propped him up. All because of that whole Rihanna thing. People still looking at him over that Rihanna thing. It's like, my gosh. But anyway, and we still don't know the facts about that. All we seen was pictures and what Rihanna said and what she said may have happened. Or even if something happened, saying, did it warrant her face looking like that? Whatever. But yeah, a few months passed, a few years passed, and the woman said you doing good, and you done threw it to the curb. Although y'all probably agreed to the whole situation. Now she's feeling some type of way. She might be broke, might be strung out, might say, hey, I can go back and sue dumb rapper here because he flew me out. And I can say he flew me out for reasons, for illicit reasons. And I was coerced, and I felt, it was done against my will, and I was afraid to say anything because he said he was going to help my career or help me get Instagram followers, and he didn't do none of that. And I didn't want to lose my money. I have kids I got to take care of. I got no help. This and the third. It can happen at any time, fellas and ladies. So you have to be smart about it. The Mann Act is basically what it's about. And that's the law that they created to keep Jack Johnson from taking white women across the state lines after he was beating all the white men up in the ring. And then take the women. But the thing about Jack Johnson wasn't dating that we know of highfalutin, high profile white women. He was dealing with prostitutes himself. Matter of fact, his wife, I think a couple of his wives, because they all try to make it say, hey, you gotta get married before you have sex. Okay, so I guess they was just, playing the role. And I think a couple of his wives were prostitutes, as a matter of fact. So this goes back to the whole thinking of why a lot of times white dudes, if a white woman say she done been with a black dude, white dudes would disown her, because it goes back to that ideology that she must be a tramp, streetwalker or whatever, because why in the world would you sleep with a brother? But that's a whole different story. But yeah, fellas, don't be flying these females out. It's time to cut all that out. Should have never done it at first. Don't be driving them out, bringing them by train, none of that kind of deal. Just find you a good woman and y'all just kick it like that. Diddy accused of pattern abuse. The music mogul was due in court Tuesday on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges that accused him of hitting and abusing women for over a decade and presiding over an empire of sexual crimes. He engaged in persistent and pervasive patterns of abuse towards women and other individuals, according to an indictment unsealed Tuesday. Detailing allegations dated into 2008, and the indictment accusing him of abusing, threatening, and coercing women for years to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. The indictment accuses Combs of striking, punching, and dragging women on numerous occasions, like the Cassie video, throwing objects and kicking them, and enlisting his personal assistants, security, and household staff to help hide it all. I think that's why they arrested Diddy first. They got a lot of evidence Maybe they got a lot of statements from people who's accusing him of these acts. So they know they had to get him off the street because, like the indictment's going to say, with the weapons he has, the power and influence that he have, you go talk to them before you get him, they're not going to talk to you. They're going to be like, heck no, we ain't talking, because that dude is still out. Which is probably why they denied his bail too, because let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. But there are going to be others that will be brought in for questioning and or arrested. And they're going to turn on them. They're going to turn states or federal evidence against them. Head of a criminal enterprise. The indictment describes Combs as the head of a criminal enterprise engaged in or attempting to engage in activities including sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purpose of prostitution, drug offenses, kidnapping, arson. Remember they say he blew up somebody's car because they looked at Cassidy or talking to Cassidy or whatever. Bribery and obstruction of justice. Man, say he's in good spirits. Diddy orchestrated performances of activity. Okay, that's pretty much is just repeating itself. Freak offs. Federal authorities said Diddy use a criminal organization, the Combs Enterprise. Really? Is there not an LLC on that? To engage in sex trafficking, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and other crimes. The freak offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, beat his meat during, and often electronically recorded, the indictment said. And it also said that when the feds raided his homes, they found videos of these acts, which I don't understand. No. Let me stop lying. This is something that I ain't gonna say we all have done, but I know some of us have done in our past. And that's record yourself engaged in sexual activities, most likely with someone else. You do it because the adrenaline is flowing. Let's just talk about just common folk. You do it because it's adrenaline rush. You want to record and you just want, I don't know. I don't know if it's a man thing, a woman thing. I don't know. But being recorded, I can't say that. It's a human thing because I know, females probably do the same thing. So that's not nothing that is uncommon. But what I don't understand is, okay, but let's say back in the day you would do it and you got tapes. So I can get it. You record it, put the tapes up, say this is this is my evidence. Not my evidence, this is just my trophy. See how many females I can get to, get on tape. This is my trophy. For whatever reason, for whatever devious reasons that we do it for. Or they do it for, sorry. But when you do it like they saying he's doing it, and where there's violence and kidnapping and drug use, and you can say, hey, these are grown people, nobody is forcing them to do anything. And that, to us, everybody has choices. The problem is what is the outcome or the consequences of the choices that you make. And that's what people have to, think about. Now, on the outside looking in, it's easy to say, nah, they should have done this. Nah, they should have done something else. But when you're on the inside, forces and powers that be can make your mind, make you think of doing something a little bit different than what the person on the outside would do. It say Diddy would allegedly make women have sex with male prostitutes by drugging them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted for several days. The document said after freak-offs comes and victims typically receive IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. Dang, physical exertion. That means like using drugs, they're taking these pills, make them last all day, all night, wearing them out, probably ain't doing nothing but drinking alcohol, which is dehydrating them, which is and actually negatively affecting your sexual actions. Because you might think it could get you in the mood, but physically, alcohol is just not good for your body. It's a poison. It's just not good for your body. It's a Diddy charged with 3 counts. Count 1, racketeering. Count 2, sex trafficking. Count 3, transportation to engage in prostitution. Wow. 1,000 bottles of baby oil seized. What? Seized from Diddy's home. During a search of Combs' home in Miami and Los Angeles this year, law enforcement seized narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, according to the indictment. My gosh. Now, people looking at that and say, what they got to do with the price of tea in China? But it has a lot to do, because when they're doing these cases, they're trying to get all the evidence and facts together, and they're trying to tie it all in, all loose ends to tie it in. Let's just say you are a typical person and you have one bottle of baby. It's just the average person, not even average, because I don't think nobody even got baby oil except you buy, unless you got babies. But let's say you use that as sex acts. For a small percentage of people, baby, let's say baby oil and lubricant. What kind of lubricant? KY jelly? Okay. Let's just say a normal person may have one bottle of each, just for the acts. And then, you run out, go to the store and get some more. That's, hey, typical, right? What in the heck do you need 1,000 bottles for? Unless you're using it. This is just evidence to show you that he was a sexual deviant and planned on using this for all his sex acts. Now, if you're two consenting adults and you're doing this thing rightly, and I mean truly consenting, not just verbally, but in your mind, there really is no need for lube. There is no need for lube, because the two of you are in it or into it. So lube is for if you're trying to force yourself on or into somebody and they're not ready to engage or not supposed to be engaged, or unless it's some kind of, wait a minute, or unless it may be for, acts with men on men, or using devices to insert into people. No new names in the indictment. The indictment does not specifically does not specify any new names, despite claiming that Diddy's entourage helped him run his criminal organization. Diddy and staff worked to silence his victim. Prosecutors say Diddy's employees helped conceal the violence and abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving locations such as hotels or Combs' homes. Victims will sometimes be required to remain in hiding to recover from injuries inflicted by Diddy. In late 20s, just like they said, Cassie, they say she get beat up and he had to sit in a hotel room for days on end. When nobody see her, when nobody heard from her, then all of a sudden she pop out of nowhere. In late 2023, Diddy and associates allegedly pressured witnesses and victims, including through bribery, to stay silent. Oh, amazing. And the feds ain't just making this stuff up. I'm quite sure they got evidence on this stuff. They said, they're going to hold a news conference, which they did today. They said prosecutors said that unbeknownst to his victims, Combs sometimes kept his videos of them engaging in sex acts and used the recordings as collateral to ensure the women's continued obedience and silence. You've seen some of these interviews where guys are talking about how some of these rappers, some of your favorite rappers, got done like this. That they go to these parties with certain high profile individuals. They be drinking, taking drugs. Next thing you know, they wake up, don't know what happened. Don't know what I'm saying? Ain't think nothing happened. Then these high profile people will say, hey, let's sign this contract. We got this kind of contract. Like, nah, I'm not going to sign. Say, well, look at her. Yeah, and then they'll show them the tape of what happened the night before. And all kind of deviant things is done to this guy. And they can threaten and say, hey, I will put this tape out. And I got copies. I'm going to put this tape out. I'm going to need you to sign this deal. They say it happens. The rapper uses sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating recordings that he made during freakouts as collateral to ensure continued obedience and silence of the victims, per the indictment. He also exerted control over victims by promising career opportunities, providing and threatening to withhold financial support, dictating how they looked, monitoring their health records, and controlling where they lived, according to the indictment. Isn't it funny? This is kind of like R. Kelly. Remember when something happened, when things happened with R. Kelly and nobody said nothing? Now this is happening to Diddy and nobody is saying nothing. We talking about people like, when it happened to R. Kelly, people like Diddy and Jay-Z and who else? No, really, shoot, nobody. in that circle was saying anything. Now it's happened to Diddy, and ain't nobody saying anything right now. I wonder who's next. During the search of Combs' home in Miami, Los Angeles this year, agents also seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers. The indictment said, "Oh, so the serial numbers was taken off. Uh-oh, that's not good." It said indictment mentions Diddy's assault of Cassidy. Cassidy, we already said that. Diddy used the business. Remember that white dude they arrested in Miami? I think he was on the plane or getting on the plane and said he was like Diddy's drug mule. Check this out. Officials detailed drugs handed out by Diddy. Diddy used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, prosecutors said in the press conference Tuesday. The rapper allegedly gave victims drugs such as ketamine, ecstasy, and BHB. Diddy became violent when victims did not agree to the freak-offs and sometimes wielded firearms, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said. So they've been talking to a lot of folk. The 3 AR-15s were found. Okay, some of the serial numbers on the weapons were defaced. They say the investigation is ongoing. It said U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said the criminal probe into Diddy's alleged crimes remain ongoing. He said more charges are on the table and asked that anyone with evidence contact his office at 1-877-4HSI-TIP and do it quickly. Williams said a year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. Man, that is what you call crazy. He said the U.S. attorney could not provide a number of Diddy's alleged victims and only say there was multiple. Like I said, now they got him arrested and in custody and denied his bail. I'm sure a lot more people are going to come out. They're going to feel a little more safe. Is anyone in Diddy's circle being investigated? Williams added that as a part of the ongoing probe into Diddy's alleged crimes, they are looking into employees that may have helped him in criminal activity. So far, officials have not named any Diddy associates, but the indictment said his staff helped him abuse and silence victims. It says his associates facilitated freak-offs. It says prosecutors would ask for pre-trial detention for Diddy. I could write the full list. Read the full list of charges. I'll read that in a second. Okay, so they say he'll report. This is like a step. This is I guess a minute by minute update. He says he's confident he will fight the charges. Did he destroy a hotel room, standing couch with oil? Yeah, I mean, shoot, oil is a stain. The arson claims. Prosecutor claims that in December 2011, Diddy co-conspirators set fire to someone's car by slicing open the car's convertible top and dropping a Molotov cocktail inside the interior. Witnesses reportedly said Diddy bragged about his role destroying the person's car. My God. Diddy offers $50 million to be released on bail. Diddy's legal team has offered a $50 million package to secure his release from jail. The package of collateral included Diddy's Miami mansion worth $48 million. It also included the home of Diddy's mother valued at $2 million. God, you gonna put your mama's house up? I don't think I could put my T. Jones house up, man. You know, I put up my house, cars, everything else, all, money, bank accounts. But I mean, even if I bought it, like I said, I couldn't put my mama's house up like that. Diddy said he was preparing to be arrested and paid off the remaining $18 million on the Miami property so he could offer it as collateral. Prosecutors have asked the judge to keep Diddy in pretrial detention, arguing he's a danger to society. No crap. Diddy surrendered his passport in April. Oh, okay, well, he ain't been nowhere then. One of the freak-offs cost Diddy $46,000. I mean, he must have, he must have destroyed the hotel. So here we go. Diddy entered court with his handcuffs behind his back, though he was not cuffed. He pulled up in a chair and sat between his lawyers, nodding as his lawyer spoke to him. The star sat stone-faced, showing no reaction on his face as Judge Robin F. Tarnofsky read through the allegations of racketeering and sex trafficking. Mr. Combs, do you wish to end the plea? Not guilty, he said. They say 3 of Diddy's sons was in court. He's facing life in prison if he's convicted. Prosecutor says Cassie assault video shows why Diddy should remain in detention. Defense lawyer said Diddy is not a perfect person. Yeah, we already know that. I mean, we already said that. Diddy's lawyers claims freakouts were consensual. Here we go. The judge said in the court the freakouts were an expansion of Diddy's long-term relationship with one woman, introducing a male partner to have sex with the person identified in the document as victim one. Is it sex trafficking? Not if everyone wants to be there. The lawyer said. The lawyer, the judge. We are not better off if the federal government comes to our bedrooms. They don't do good there. That's what they're doing. They're coming into Mr. Combs' bedroom. Victim one appears to be Diddy's ex-girlfriend, singer Cassie. Boy, Cassie got her money and done turned state's evidence on this dude. Man, if this dude is guilty for what they all say he did, shoot. I mean, hey, that's what you get, man. It said the lawyer claims that Cassie consented to the freakouts. He said in a 2016 video, these two people were in love. Victim one ended up marrying the trainer that Mr. Combs got for her. They had been cheating on each other for years, but now she had 2 kids with the trainer. Years later, she realized she had a good thing with Mr. Combs. Could be true. Agnafilo told the court that victim's one lawyer called Diddy lawyer to say she had written a book and Diddy could buy the rights for $30 million. Remember his baby mama Kim Porter? They said she had a book coming out, and then all of a sudden everything disappeared. He added while asking for bail, this is a slippery slope. The government is going to say she was coerced. She had to say that to go for the $30 million. We have a serious bail package. I hope Your Honor can see that Mr. Combs has done things to show that he is trustworthy. Man, can you imagine having all that money, being worth hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe even $1 billion, Kanye, and lose it all just like that? Man, that is crazy. And let's see, where we at? It say Diddy's lawyer vows to appeal judge's decision as his outraged sons leave the court. Diddy's attorney promised to appeal the decision to deny bail shortly after the hearing. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He will fight this until the end. He is innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. He better be. That's what your lawyer better say. He has been looking forward to clearing his name. And he is going to clear his name. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. Attorney Mark Agnafilo said outside court. In an apparent reference to Cassie Ventura, he added, this was a 10-year relationship. There is no collusion. There was no crime. This is someone who filed a civil case and now found himself as a witness in a criminal case. His furious sons blew past the media. Okay, then you see pictures of the gun. Say, in addition, 6 legally purchased gun with serial numbers, some of which were stored in the gun safe or recovered from the defendant's residence. Although these particular guns, both the legal and illegal firearms, were seized, the presence in the defendant's home demonstrates that the defendant has access to and surrounds himself with both guns and ammunition. Likewise, even if the defendant were personally restrained by the court from obtaining new firearms himself, he could retain access to them through others because they had a couple of them, I guess, had no serial numbers. And they talk about the violence, show the guns, say, AR-15s found in Diddy's Miami bedroom. I'm not tripping on that because that's what you need for self-defense. It says the rapper will stay in detention in New York as he awaits his trial, which could take, man, a year or two. Damn. In deciding to deny Diddy bail, Tarnowski says she has very significant concerns about Combs' substance abuse and what appears to be anger issues. Tarnowski says she considered alternatives, but doesn't think it's sufficient because so much of what's alleged happens behind closed doors. Man, let's see. Sean Diddy Combs was denied bail on sex trafficking and racketeering charges in a bombshell development and his downfall. The 54-year-old star was sensationally arrested last night after traveling to New York to work with prosecutors. He denies the claims, which include allegations of drug-fueled freakouts where he's said to have forced victims into having sex with each other, stashing weapons. Diddy is also accused of beating more women than Cassie Ventura, the ex who he was filmed savagely beaten in a hotel hallway. The desperate attempts to remain free, he begged for bail, proposing his own home and his mother's as part of a $50 million surety. His lawyer says he has been treated unfairly and harshly. Now he is headed for a jail cell. Y'all remember Alonzo on training day when them Russians came up to that car and started shooting? And when he got out, you saw what he did? In desperation. See his life. They're about to take his life. He didn't want to die. And put them keys, dangle them keys in their face. Like, man, take the car, take something, just don't kill me. And they looked at him, laughed, and took him out with them AR-15s. What it looked like. Seems like Diddy did the same thing. He's doing the same thing, putting up his mama house before the courts take his life. I don't see anything good coming out of this. This is going to be a big problem. We're going to try to stay updated on this story. But Diddy's in a world of trouble. He know it. We all know it. Eventually, the things you do will come to light one way or another, whether in life or in death. It will come to light. May not to the full public, but to at least to a few people, to enough people. Now this guy is about to be locked up. I bet he thought he had everyone by the ball. He probably thought he would never be arrested. No one could get him. The man was above the law. Well, he's about to find out that he is not. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story, man. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have intelligent conversation here. Hey, thank y'all for watching. But don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day. Don't forget also to visit marlonmorales.com. That's marlonmorales.com. 10% off your first purchase on all of our luxury products. Also, if you want to support the channel financially, you can give super thanks, super chats, or go to the description box. There are links there you can click on. You can support that way. But however you support, hey, I appreciate it and love you for it all. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.